So you're going to be running this thing. You're hosting this time around. You're going to be, as Jim Cornette says, you're going to be the one fucking this dog. I'm just going to hold its head.
God, I can't. No. All right, I'm driving the train.
You're driving it.
Well, then, giddy up, yeehaw. Let's... What do you do for a train? Choo-choo?
You brace yourself.
Choo-choo!
You chew.
I think that's when they stop, though. Or no.
I was thinking like whenever I watch like on Pornhub.
Yeah.
You gotta brace yourself.
Oh, for a train?
For a train.
Yeah, that's, I mean, some of us are naturals, but whatever.
Don't I know it?
Hello and howdy. Welcome to question 23 with Josh and Steven. I'm Josh.
I'm Steven.
And
good job.
Thank you. That was really natural. I kind of killed that. I did musical theater for 9 years. I, again, don't know if I've ever mentioned that, but just got to throw it out there.
A time or two. You've mentioned it a time or two.
Have I?
Or three.
It slips my mind. Okay, earlier you said that you were hot and irritable. And
I am.
Well, now's the time to talk about it because I tried to ask you about it and you said, no, save it for the pod. So, Steven, why are you tired and why are you hot and irritable?
Well, I'm hot because it's 86 degrees today. That's hot.
It was nice.
And so
it was really nice. I'm ready for summer.
But you got to have air conditioning probably all day today.
I did get to have air conditioning.
I don't have
all
air
day.
conditioning in my life.
I was a little chilly today. Yeah.
Fuck you. And people in Texas are going to give me shit for complaining about this because an 86 degree day in Texas.
Balmy.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful day.
Love it.
But I've grown accustomed to being in California.
Mid-70s.
It gets like 78. I'm hot at 78 now.
78's toasty.
Which it used to be kind of chilly in Texas. Or at least very, very nice.
Is it breezy? Is it very windy there?
It can be.
Because 78 with a breeze, with like a nice wind, that's good.
Yeah.
78 just straight on. 72 straight on is like, if you're out in the sun, you're going to get hot.
Yeah.
You're going to get toasty.
But that's what I've been doing is out in the sun. Is because I walk 10 miles a day.
Which is insane.
And doing that in the sun normally has been fine, but between yesterday and today, it's wearing me out.
Yeah.
I think I have sun poisoning.
That I was going to say that's not real, but that is real.
Sun poisoning is very real.
I know. That's why I recanted and said, yes, that is real.
And I think I have it.
Okay.
You don't even know what it is.
I've heard of it.
See? I think I have it.
Okay. But you wear sunscreen.
That's the other thing. That's why I'm irritable. There's a lot of reasons why I'm irritable.
Well,
but I'm wearing sunscreen
time.
every day and I have to reapply it multiple times a day and it's drying me out.
Yeah.
It's drying me out.
I thought you switched to your Safeway soap.
I did. I'm and this is probably not the thing to do. I'm switching everything up. I switched my soap and then I switched to a new sunscreen.
You have to do
and then
one.
now I have a body oil. I'm putting body oil on.
You have to be careful with oils though, because your body gets used to it and then it does you produce less oil and then your skin gets drier.
Okay, so I have things to talk about.
Okay,
My first topic is mansplaining.
Me mansplaining things to you?
That's been a thing.
It has been a thing. Do you know that though?
Yes.
Oh,
babe.
Not everyone knows that. That was news to me. I discovered that the hard way.
I worked at Ulta for 6 years.
I forget about that. I see. That's why I mansplain things. Is not because
you think I'm dumb. That's why.
That is so absolutely 1,000,000% not true.
Which I've come to the terms with the fact that I am kind of dumb.
But aren't we all? I'm an engineer. And let me tell you, I am not the brightest bulb in the pack when it comes to life things. When it comes to engineering, I'm also not the brightest bulb in the pack. So there you go.
You're pretty bright.
Pretty bright. Not the brightest. but I produce light, which is good. I'm useful. I'm a cog in the corporate machine. God. Anyway, sunscreen.
Anyway,
Oils.
mansplaining.
Mansplaining. Yes. I forget that you worked at Ulta for 6 years. I'm just trying to shit because it's not that I'm trying to mansplain. It's just that I'm like, oh my God, I have fun facts I want to share with you.
Well, it's not even just fun facts. You tried to
Well, that one was kind of on
tried to
purpose.
mansplain to me what a boycott was.
Yeah.
I know what a boycott is.
No, I know, but you were like pretending like you didn't get it, and so then I
was not. How was I pretending like I didn't get it?
Because you were like, well, did this really work?
That's not what I said.
Yeah. Okay, what'd you say?
That's not what I said. What triggered your mansplaining?
Mm-hmm. Get into it.
Is so you were like, so you were talking about boycotting Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, since everybody started boycotting Starbucks, they lost $10 billion.
They did.
And I said, how much of that was you? And I feel like you were triggered by that.
Because that's not the point of the boycott.
I understand that. But
because in a boycott, you're going to
do it again.
So it's not about the individual. It's about
I know how
coming together
works.
And avoiding a thing.
I know how it works.
So then why are you asking me how much of that I contributed to?
Because I think it's interesting.
Which honestly, probably a couple $100, realistically.
I think it's interesting to think about the impact that you can have from such a little thing. So I was like, okay, if you got to say, well, I don't really, normally go that often, so maybe just like $60. I'm like, wow, how many people had to have contributed $60 at a time to reach $10 billion?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And instead you said, hush now, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Be quiet. Quiet your lips. Let me tell you.
Because it's about
how
the community.
This little boycott thing works. You might not know.
You might not know.
And then you trying to explain skincare to me. And
okay, the skincare thing, I forget you worked at Ulta for 6 years. These are things that I am discovering for the first time in my life right now as we speak. Like, I didn't do skincare in like high school. We're a white family. We didn't grow up using washcloths and exfoliating. You slap that body wash on your body and then you rinse it off and you're good to go. And I forget that you worked at Ulta for 6 years and you know these things. And I'm just so excited because I'm like, oh my God, did you know that you're supposed to exfoliate every day? Or not every day, that's kind of a lot, but like often. And it actually does wonders for your skin.
It does.
It's crazy.
It does.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me.
I know. Now I know. I mean, I knew, but I'm sorry that I'm sorry that I mansplain. I definitely did mansplain boycotts to you because I genuinely thought you were like coming at me from the angle of like, yeah, but boycotts don't work because how much of that did you contribute? And that's on me because I made an assumption, and you know what happens when you assume? Makes an ass out of you and me. Don't forget it.
Not me. That was all you. That was all you, babe.
Well, it makes, yeah, well, whatever.
But have you, so I'm curious if you've ever been
accused of mansplaining.
Yeah. Has this come up before?
No, not in a mansplaining way. But in a, like, I guess it wasn't phrased as like me mansplaining. I definitely was. But I have fun facts I want to share.
Yeah.
And then if people are like, yeah, Josh, I know. And I'm like, but I just discovered this.
Yeah.
And so I want to share it.
I remember the first time.
Which I know is really annoying. I really do understand that is not for everyone and that it can be a lot. And I don't always need to share. I just get so excited.
I love the excitement, the enthusiasm.
Thank you.
I remember the first time I got told that I was mansplaining, and it kind of like blew my mind. Like I had a whole moment.
Yeah.
Where I was like, wow, have I always done this? Is this a thing that I do? Because easy to do.
Yeah.
And it usually comes out of excitement. The time that I did it came out of excitement as well. But
I had a thought, but continue.
no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I realized just now that I think it comes from not letting the other person finish their thought. And instead, oh, there's a mosquito on your neck. It flew off. I was going to slap it. I think it comes from not listening to the person that you're talking to, or not letting them finish their thought, because that's why I mansplained boycotting to you, because I assumed what you were trying to say. And that happens literally. Oh, fuck. Sorry, I should have let you get it.
It's all right.
What was I saying?
You were saying that you need to let people finish their thoughts.
You need to let people finish their thoughts, because that's what happens. And I saw this all the time in college, because I was in class with engineers, boys, so many boys, and there were like 6 girls, and then the girls would be talking about something, and then the boys would just have to chime in the middle of what the girls were saying, try to over-explain to them, and I would constantly be like, let her finish, like, stop.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, yeah, we all do it, but we gotta listen. You gotta let people finish what they're saying. And then you can, and if you don't want to forget your thing, little life hack, you just cross your fingers and you hold the thought in your crossed fingers. And so then you're like, ooh, I want to interrupt. I want to, because I have something to say. I have something I want to share that adds on, because we're keeping conversation. But I need to let this person finish their thought.
You're pretty good at that too.
I do my best.
Like when we're in conversation, I see you.
Yeah.
I see you do that. And that also can be like a cue that, like, okay, Steven, maybe you should shut up now. Maybe you've been talking for a long time.
Yeah.
I forgive you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It comes from a good place.
It does, which doesn't excuse it,
suppose.
but it does explain it.
Yeah. Yeah. I look like a fool today.
Tell me more. Babe, you look like a fool every day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was walking on one of my walks to get up to 10 miles. I walk 10 miles a day. I don't know if I told you.
You walk 10 miles a day?
10 miles a day.
That's crazy.
And on one of my walks, I was walking through downtown at this busy intersection.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't really matter the logistics of what was happening here, but there was a 18-wheeler truck, big old trailer truck, that was making a left turn into this busy intersection. And it's a kind of a smaller intersection. It's tight. There's a lot of traffic that's going on. And so as it was making its left turn, it got really close to the cars that were going perpendicular, that was waiting to turn left the other way. Again, it doesn't matter logistically where it is, but the trailer is like getting like really close to it, and the guy's going like really slow, and he's seeing how far he can like get over. I stopped walking because it's just so, I got to see what's happening.
Yeah.
What's going to happen next? Is he going to hit this car? Is he going to be able to figure it out? What's going to happen here?
You were a looksy-loo.
I couldn't help it. So I stopped walking, and I'm just watching, and he's going slow, and he's like going around. He has to like pop the curb on the other side to like go around, but he's doing what he has to do. This guy's a professional. He knows what he's doing. And he barely makes it.
Nice.
Barely makes it. And when he did it, I was so excited that he made it. And I was sitting there watching for, it wasn't even half a minute, but it felt like a long time. Time stood still for a moment there. And he makes it. And as he makes it, he's like starts to like drive towards me. And I'm just like so excited and so proud of this guy. I go, he looked at me like, who the fuck are you? Which it came from a good place in my heart. I was just excited for that. And I was proud of him. But like, who am I to be proud of this guy? This guy's like, this is my job. Of course I know what I'm doing. Maybe he thought it was like, I don't know, patronizing or like looking down on him. Like, maybe he I don't know, it was too close and he wasn't happy about it, but he gave me an ugly look and I felt.
Well, that's
like
on
a fool.
him.
And I was just
'cause you were
excited.
just
I guess I'm
excited.
gonna have to close
You
this door.
have to
Hold
close
on.
this door. There are so many bugs in here.
It's so hot.
It is so hot. But that's because it's the evening time and all of the heat is rising out of the concrete. That's why cities stay so warm at night. Fun fact.
That was fun. But yeah, that's my story today.
Damn.
Of looking like a fool.
Well, that's on him. I don't think you look like a
Honestly,
fool.
yeah.
I think he should have been more receptive to you cheering him on, because we all need a little bit of cheering on, especially when you accomplish a hard task and there are people watching.
Yeah.
But also, that's probably how many times a day does he have to pull something like that?
Yeah.
And he was probably just like, whatever.
Yeah.
But
I think that I would enjoy
a little thumbs up,
if
little
if I'm just like in the
recognition.
middle of working and I like did this like really long, really cool Excel formula.
Mm-hmm.
If I just looked over and there was a guy that was going, I would be thrilled. I would love that. Nobody does to me nearly as much as I would like them to.
That's true. I'll keep that in mind. I'll try to more often.
Yeah, I could use that.
I could too. I think everyone could.
Like if we're in bed and I do something impressive. Give me one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
What's
Get
next? I mean,
into it.
I have a list of things, but
I'm
you don't
re-
have things to. What did I say at the beginning?
I'm driving the train.
No.
I'm steering the train.
You're the one fucking this dog. I'm just holding its head.
No. I know. And if that's the case, then I'm saying do your next one, because I always have thoughts, but you have organized thoughts, and
Okay,
mine
we
are
won't
just
get
kind
to
of
this last one today.
Great.
We won't
Why
do that today
not?
because I have to pull things up and show you videos, and I don't. And it's evergreen. I think it's got time.
Yeah, but you've been talking about it for literally 3 weeks. We don't have to do it today.
Yeah.
But also, I am losing interest. That's not true. I really want to know.
It's Chappell Roan, and people don't even know who that is.
Which is also crazy because she's Chappell Roan. She's, in my opinion, at least from what I've seen so far, the next Gaga. And
That exactly right. I don't want to talk about it
what?
because I don't want to have to. I have to like pull up my videos and do the thing. I don't want to have to talk about it, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. Is I have decided she is very much not the next Gaga. I am.
Why?
She is
From
no.
like interviews and stuff? Just because she separates her self from her art?
No, because she is obsessed with Israel.
No. You're lying. No,
I'm
because we
lying. I'm
talked
just
about
kidding.
this. We talked about this, and I was like, is that what it is? Because that's the only thing that would get me to stop listening to her.
Yes, it is the separation of the character from who she is.
And why don't you like
And
that?
sharing that with the public. It's okay to be
But,
behind
see,
closed doors and
that's
to
'cause-
allow that.
No. This is your wrestling brain kicking in.
It's not even
Because
wrestling brain.
She broke kayfabe, and you're upset about it.
I mean, partially, yes. And there's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. But
Doesn't sound like it.
I'm just saying she's not going to be the next Lady Gaga.
Why?
Because
She can't do both?
No.
Why not?
Because there was Gaga when as she was rising to fame. Now she's doing migraine commercials and it's kind of, I don't know. As she was like rising up, people were like, "Oh,
Also, the audience can't see your beautiful face. because
that's all
you're
right. It doesn't
staring
matter.
at me.
I'm talking to you.
Well, all right.
I'm talking to you."
I just want them to be able to see how cute you are.
Thank you. As Gaga was rising to fame, people were like, "This chick's weird," and there was a lot of mystery behind who she really is. Is she really always like this? Every time we see her, she's always like that. We don't know where that ends, and that is interrupting when you make a thing out of it.
But it's to the audience. Continue. I'm listening.
Chappell Roan has interviews where she's like, "Oh yeah, no, it's just a separate character, and I would rather you just call me Melissa." What is her name? I don't know what her name is.
I don't know her actual name.
It's a white girl, just a generic
I think
white
it's
girl
Kaylee.
name. See,
It's Kaylee.
It's Kaylee, and showing us that is just like, oh, this is just like, if you're not taking it that seriously, then I'm not either. You can tell that Gaga, she's not taking it as seriously as Lady Gaga did. I'm not saying that she doesn't take her art seriously, but she's not taking the whole idea that everything about Gaga was not just about her art. It was everything that she did all together. Chappell is not doing that, which is fine. You can create great art, but for people to be saying that she is the next Gaga, it's impossible and will never happen.
I think she is inspired by Gaga. I think you're right in that she's not the next Gaga, in the like by way of the fact that no one there isn't a next Gaga, because Gaga is like her own thing. But when I say like Chappell Roan is like the next Gaga, I mean we don't have anyone else in like Gen Z essentially right now who's doing what Chappell Roan is doing. And or at least that's famous. Just being like artsy and queer and good. Because there are people, so you have like Chrissy Chilpleka. I don't know how to say her last name. And she's like bad bitch, like femme girl, which is great. Love that. Like hyper femme, super like bad bitch. But like that's not like queer artistry the way that Chappell Roan is doing it. Chappell Roan is doing like a almost like self-referential character of being from the South and the Midwest, and like all of like everything that entails, and like being a trailer park princess, and being like that is what we've seen from her currently. And she did it so well and is continuing to do it so well, especially when she performs, that like that makes me think, oh, she is doing it in the way that I think of Gaga doing it. Granted, I didn't start listening to Gaga until literally Joanne, so a little late to the bus, a little late to the party. I wasn't allowed to. So I'm not, a Gaga.
That is not the best time to get into Gaga.
Joanne was so good.
Joanne's good, but it is not. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's like, I don't know. I feel like it discredits her to say that she's like nothing like Gaga. Like she's not, like her and Gaga are not overlapped. Because I feel like there is overlap.
That?
You.
I said she is not the next Gaga. I did not say that they don't have overlap.
Interesting.
I think that the bit that she's doing is great and creates great art. And you'd be like, oh yeah, I can see some Gaga in that.
Interesting. I think this is the Gen Z millennial divide right here.
Why?
Because I think her character being a bit and her knowing that it's a bit and leaning into that is the Gen Z of it all. Whereas with millennials, like Gaga was not doing bits. Gaga was doing performance art. And I think that there's an evolution there of like, Chappell's doing performance art, but she's doing it as a bit. And also, it's performance art. So it's like, I don't know, all of Gen Z humor is just knowing.
Is it humor? Is this humor?
I guess like, that's like Gen Z culture, I guess, is just like, we're all in on it. We all know things are bad. We all know like the world is not functioning at its best. And so what do you do with that? You do your best. And within that, if you were, being a pop princess, I think it's okay to like play into that bit of like, I'm an artsy pop princess and I'm doing it as a bit, but also I'm an artsy pop princess.
I think it's fine for people to do bits. It just is not.
Gaga-esque for you.
Yeah, I would also say it's not groundbreaking. And which is fine. Again, you can create great art, and that's just.
I think that's where
You're
I
doing
disagree.
your little bit.
Why don't you think it's groundbreaking?
People have been doing bits for forever.
Not like this.
Like what?
Not in like being.
It's like a which I want to be careful with my words here, but it's like similar to like drag queens, right?
Yeah, that's where she pulls a lot of her inspiration.
Yeah. It's like a bit, which I feel like when it comes to like drag queens and that type of entertainment is fine, but I think that a lot of people like want to connect more to music than just like going to like a drag show and hearing jokes or seeing those performances.
I think that,
and it's hard to connect to that music when you know that it's a bit.
I think that minimizes. We're getting really into the weeds here, but I think that minimizes the like power of a bit. Like a drag queen doing a bit that also is like groundbreaking and hasn't been done before, which happens a lot on Drag Race, which you don't watch. Is a moment, is a connection, is a like, it's them showing you who they are and giving you the opportunity to connect with them through the bit. It's an extension of their hand to say, hey, yeah, I'm up here, I'm doing haha silly things, and I'm singing or I'm lip syncing, I guess. But also, and not all the bits, but like there are bits that are like, I don't want to say mind blowing enough, but like different enough, I guess, that they like do make that impact of like, whoa, like this is a moment, like this is something's happening here. And I feel like that's what Chappell hits, is that she is doing the performance or the bit in a way that hits, I guess, especially in like for a queer girl to be doing that. We have a lot of like queer female artists. We have like, Rina Sawayama, love. We have Charlie XCX, love. But they're like doing a different type of artsy. Here's what I think it is. I think it's that, and one of the reasons Chappell Roan connects with me so much is she is doing queer femme, like for the girlies art, and she's doing it in a way that really resonates with me as an individual, because as someone who's from Midwest culture, not the Midwest, I get it. Everything she says about like her like grandparents being conservative and like her family not getting it and her family feeling like she like changed when she moved to LA and stuff. And then her creating this character of like the Midwest princess, like in her her tiny desk, like having cigarette butts in her hair and having like a trash bag be what she's using for volume. Like that is so, but having that be like the princess aspect, like that's it. That is it. I I feel like, yeah.
So it's niche.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's niche.
I think it's striking a chord with you because it hits that niche thing for you.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe
I think Gaga was
universal,
very universal,
and Chappell Roan. So maybe that's what it is. Chappell Roan is my Gaga.
I think of Chappell Roan closer to, and it's different for a lot of reasons. But I think of Chappell Roan as closer to like Kesha.
No, interesting.
In the sense that Kesha had her character of this, and I'm talking about when she came out, Kesha. The Kesha over the last 10 years is different, but 2009, 2010 Kesha, talking about being sleazy and getting drunk in the middle of the day and all that or whatever. That was kind of established. That was like a character, and she would have these interviews, and she's has a super high IQ and like is just like kind of a normal girl, and she had this like persona and made really fun, entertaining music, and I loved it, but that's what it was. Again, not groundbreaking.
Interesting. I think where Chappell Roan changes it, though, is that she's hitting the culture aspect. Like, she's hitting the, like, mainstream-ish. She's getting there. But even, like, at Coachella, like, we don't get to see high femme queerness in a way that is not just, I'm a bad bitch and you can't hurt me, like her. We don't get to see, that's like a lot of what we see, but we don't get to see it's tender. That's what it is. It's like more vulnerable than putting up like the high femme wall, I guess, of like, I'm a bad bitch, you can't hurt me. Because it's not that. Because she talks and sings really intimately about how, like, this is who she is as a queer person.
And I enjoy it.
And how people have hurt her. And specifically within the context of queer culture, which I think is where it changes things.
I'm going to put something on the record here.
Okay,
this is being recorded.
I will not
be
slander Chappell
forever.
Roan. Okay, what?
I think as far as mainstream goes, she's gotten as far as she's going to get.
I strongly disagree. But I guess we'll have to see.
I'll bet you $1,000.
No, you don't have $1,000.
I don't need it. This one I would.
This one
This
would.
one I might need.
Yeah. That's enough on Chappell Roan.
Enough on Chappell Roan, because we're not talking about it today.
We're not talking about it today.
I told you we're not talking about it.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna always defend her. Maybe not always, but like.
And
yeah,
that's fine. But it's being established here
but
today.
I'll accept that maybe she doesn't have the universal appeal that I feel like she does have.
And I don't think that it's fair to put her up there with Gaga.
I think she has the potential, though. That's what it is. Is like she has the potential. She's doing it.
I think she's.
But I think she's so early. She's so early on.
I think she's the Gaga for a community, for a little group of people, or not even a little. I'll say a big group of people.
Yeah.
But overall, kind of a little group of people, and I think that she is
for now.
I think that she's hitting with those folks, and great for her, and it's gonna be great for her, and she'll have her whole deal there, and she'll have a successful career there.
Honestly, maybe I'm okay with that. Actually, I think I am okay with that. I don't want the straights to have her.
Yeah,
the straights don't get her.
Yeah, I love everybody.
I don't.
It's too bad.
Is that true? That's true. Yeah. No, I don't. I try to be kind to everyone, but I certainly have my folks. What's your last little topic there as we're coming down to the end of the show?
These are all my topics today.
Yeah,
You're supposed
I know.
to bring topics.
I'm reacting. You had 4 topics. Typically we do 2 and 2, so I'm reacting to your
them
topics.
as backup Like Chappell was not supposed to be talked about today unless we
Yeah,
were sitting
but
here twiddling our thumbs.
I can't help
with our
it.
dicks in our hands. I entered a weight loss challenge
Oh yeah, that you
last
don't.
week.
Well, continue.
And
Tell the folks at home.
for the folks at home. So last week, I happened to be on speakerphone. I was talking to my cousin, and she was in the car with her partner, and we were on speakerphone and just talking. And me and her partner are both in the middle. We're both at weights where we're fine. I'm good right now, but I could lose some more weight. Like I would be happy if I lost some weight. If I don't, I'm good, right? And that's where he's at now. This comes from, I don't know if I think I've told you this. I think at one point, I think it was 4 years ago, I got up to 250 pounds.
You did tell me that.
I was a big boy.
You're a big boy.
I'm 5'6".
Yeah.
5'6", 250 pounds.
You're a big boy.
Yeah. And since then, especially in the last year, I've really come down. So right now, I'm at, today I weighed in at 176. So like over the last year, I've lost, what is that? That's
like 80
That's like
pounds.
75 pounds right there.
And you've done it by mostly exercising and changing your diet, which is the hard way to do it, which is crazy.
Yeah. We can't get into Ozempic today because I have thoughts on that.
That's fair.
And there are people watching. There are people watching
that's fair.
that are family that I love my family that takes Ozempic. That's all I'll say on that. I love everybody just.
So you love everybody.
I do. I really do. But that'll be a conversation for another day. Anyways, so I was losing all this weight, and then I met you. And I stayed just as active as I was before, but my diet, I was not on the strict diet that I was on before, which has been fine. I'm not upset about that. I've been very happy with that. So I've been able to maintain my weight. So I got down to, I really just been hovering like right at like 179, 177 to 179. I always stay like right about there.
The fact that your body weight can fluctuate 3 pounds in like a week is insane to me, because if my body weight fluctuates 3 pounds, I'm like, something's wrong.
Really?
Yes. I am skinny, and my body metabolizes shit like that. And if I lose 3 pounds, I have to be careful because I'm razor thin line of being underweight.
Yeah.
Which is its own whole thing. And I'm very grateful for the body that I have. I'm very grateful for my metabolism. I'm grateful.
Josh, I'm also grateful for the body that you have.
Yeah, you are.
So 177, 179. I just hovered there over the last, what have we known each other for 5 months now? Mm-hmm. I've stayed at that the entire time, staying just as active, but just not really watching what I'm eating. So I was on the phone with my cousin and her partner, and he's talking about he's trying to lose weight too. And we have a similar-ish goal weight, and we're both at a similar-ish weight now. And I don't know which one of us said it, but one of us should be like, well, who can be the first one to get there? And we're like, all right, let's go. Let's see who can be the first one to get there. And I was like, well, why don't we like really have some motivation? Why don't we bet some? Why don't we $1,000? Why don't we bet $1,000 to see who can be the first one to get to that goal weight? So for me, that means losing, or I guess for both of us, we're both the challenge has morphed into losing 18 pounds. The first person to lose 18 pounds. He weighed a little bit less than me, and his goals I don't know. What we thought was fair is the first person to lose 18 pounds. So last Wednesday we had our starting weight, and it's coming down from there. And so I'm excited because I know that I have the tools to drop weight. I was doing it before I met you. Mm-hmm. Took a pause there, but I know the tool. I know how to do it. I can just make it happen. So me entering this challenge is like, I'm about to get $1,000. Mm-hmm. And so I'm excited because I'm about to get $1,000. And so I said, hey, Josh, guess what? I'm excited because I'm about to get $1,000. And what's the first thing you said? After I told you about this challenge,
Steven, you don't have $1,000.
I don't need $1,000. I don't need $1,000. I already know what I'm gonna do. I just have to do it.
But you can't control his actions.
I don't need to. I don't need to. I can just control mine.
I trust that you know what you're doing.
I thought.
But also the idea of making a bet and not having the immediate like ability to like if right now in this moment you lost the bet, not having the like capital to pay out freaks me out. But that's because I've, well,
I'm glad to hear you're
issues
confident
around
in
money.
my abilities.
I am confident in your abilities. I'm not confident in my abilities.
Well,
like that.
Good thing you don't have to lose 18 pounds.
Yeah, I hope not. That would be bad.
I'm gonna win $1,000, and I'm gonna spend it in front of you, and you're not gonna get any of it,
babe. If you got $1,000 and you spent it in front of me, I would want nothing more. I think that would be great. I would love to see you have an extra $1,000.
And here's the thing.
And it's not that I don't think you can't do it. It's just my immediate gut reaction was fear because, one, I have an anxiety condition on the record. So actually, you're being really ableist right now. And two, it's kind of just the first point.
Well, I also have an anxiety disorder as well. And I have it also on the record. So it cancels each other out. So you can't use that on me.
Well, then, two, I don't know. Being in debt scares me. Money's scary.
Don't. You want to know really? Here's where I think that I can teach you things. I think that I don't know if it's. I think part of it is maybe an age thing.
Mm-hmm.
I also think part of it is.
How old are you again?
I am 32 years old.
Nice.
You're about to be 25.
I am about to be 25.
So part of it is an age thing, but also part of it has just been, I've been on a journey this last year where I've been, I think, really learning about what life is all about.
Yes.
I'm learning about the things that are important, the things that we think are important, but are not that important. And money is something that it comes and it goes.
Yeah.
It comes and it goes.
Yeah.
And I am in a point in my life right now where I'm good financially. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have a big old chunk of money saved in a savings account or whatever, but I'm pretty all right. I would say a lot more well off than a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And if something happened, I could definitely be impacted financially, but I'm just not that worried about it. So one, money comes and it goes. Two, this was with my cousin's partner. If I don't win this bet, he's not going to come knocking on the door and like not allowing me to go grocery shop. If I had to be like, hey, I'll give you $100 for the next couple of months or whatever. And whenever I get this, and if I get a little bonus at work, I'll give you a little bit of extra money. So it's not like the end of the world. I'm not going to have like, if I bet on the World Series and I lose and a bookie comes beating on the door, going to hit me with a baseball bat or a bag of quarters or something. So it's like not.
He's going to kneecap ya.
So it's not that
You
big
don't
of a
think
deal.
Bailey's partner will not kneecap you? I don't know anything about Bailey's
I'd like
partner.
to see him try.
Ooh, a challenge.
But anyways, I'm getting $1,000.
No, that
he's
is
gonna
very
watch
fair.
this, and I'm probably just like lit a fire under him, and he's gonna get very into it. But we already discussed no drugs can be involved, no cheating.
No cheating.
Neither of us wants to cheat. We both want to do this the healthy
Yeah.
way. I think we both are excited. No matter who wins, we're both going to be excited that we hit
You
this
lost
goal.
18 pounds.
Yeah. And I think that it's going to be. I think it's going to be very close. So it's all good things for me. The fact that I said that to you and you just got hit and was like struck with fear was like surprising to me. And that's fine. You come from a different place, and your head is just in a different place. But for me, it was just all exciting, and I'm just going to continue that excitement.
I think that's great. And also, I would like to say, in the moment, I noticed that I was struck with fear, and I noticed that that was probably not the response that you wanted.
Yeah.
And I did my very, very best to be supportive in the moment as much as I could.
You want to know how you did that?
How did I do that?
You said,
Steven, you don't have
no, hold on.
$1,000.
You said, after that, and then I explained it more, and I explained why I was excited. You said, I'm going to need to process that. That was the support that I got. I'm just kidding. You were supportive, but you did say that.
Yeah, because I needed to process it more. But then I processed it more, and I was like, you know what? He's got it.
I got it.
Has it. Yeah.
I got it.
Okay. There you go. Steven's going to get $1,000. Just wait and see.
$1,000, baby.
All right. Well, I think that just about brings us to the end of our show. Look at that.
Right on time.
How long do you think we talked about Chappell Roan for? And how many people who listen to this know who she is and care?
Nobody. Nobody. Unless you're showing this show to your friends, nobody that I know knows who Chappell Roan is. They don't know what that those syllables put together.
Look her up. She's really good.
She's entertaining.
She's really good.
The Tiny Desk.
Start from the first. Honestly, watch the Tiny Desk. Watch the Tiny Desk.
That was my biggest intro into her, because you had played me a few songs from her album, hit or miss, but just watching that Tiny Desk from beginning to end was very entertaining.
It's one of the best Tiny Desks I've seen.
You get a glimpse into the bit that she's doing.
Into the bit, yes.
I'm gonna say her personality. I don't know. You get a glimpse into the bit that she's doing, and it's great. But we're not talking about Chappell Roan today. We didn't talk about Chappell Roan, and we're gonna not talk about her now.
Slay.
You're driving this thing.
All right.
You gotta do an exit, an outro.
Do we do an outro typically?
I don't know.
I feel like we just kind of end it by going, "I love you."
Yeah. Well, you gotta thank the folks for tuning in again.
Thank you, folks, for tuning in again. No, I want to do an actual outro. I'm going to pull an outro out of my ass. Okay. Are you ready for this? That's all for us. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Steven, I love you.
I love you too, Joshua.
Okay. Bye.